Tell us about CRS. What does it stand for?
It's basically carrier routing system. So if you look at it, there are service providers, when they have to interconnect between one another, they need this huge device that actually channels all the traffic between them. So the router that we launched, the carrier routing services CRS3, would sit in between big data centers and service provider internetworks.
Okay. And what are the three key features of the router?
Well, in terms of the three key features about what we announced yesterday is that we've tripled the capacity of this from our previous router which we launched in 2004, and we've introduced this fundamentally new concept of intelligence in the router, which we call data center services system, and this is essentially going to make the cloud and network operate as one, which is fundamental and paramount for the future internet, as you're going to see. And then the final part is that cost on the core, cost per gig on the core is always a significant trouble point. So we've done a lot of innovation to reduce it by as much as 60%. So by scale, services, and savings. These are the three main attributes of what we launched yesterday.
So the speed previously was 92 terabits.
Well, yes, and the capacity was 92 terabits per second, and now with this CRS3 you can upgrade it to 322 terabits per second. But what does that mean? Putting it in perspective, it means if you're in China, every single man, woman, and child may get on a video call simultaneously. Or another example, every single movie ever shot to date can be just downloaded in 4 minutes. This kind of capacities are critical for service providers when they exchange data at the network, at their core levels.
And the router is going to be available worldwide?
It will be available worldwide, and it will be available in the third quarter of this calendar year.
So what about Asia? How would that help people? So you've mentioned China, but what about India and what about the Middle East?
Sure. So let's take India for an example. If India is a very interesting situation, right? There's a whole generation that is completely leapfrogged the PC era. So, for example, when I call my sister and I talk to her about a new house I bought, she opens her mobile phone and browses Google Maps on her mobile phone, not on her PC. So India, as we all know, has tremendous mobile growth, and CRS, for example, is IPv6 compatible. Now, what this means is that IP addresses are slated to run out very soon. Now, with this router in place, you can fan out that many more mobile phones and then install apps on them which need this kind of separate IP addresses.
And in India, who is the partner?
We've Bharati and Tata are two customers we have CRSs running right now. They are very excited about this.
Okay. How easy is it to replace these cards? You mentioned that it's easy to swap the cards and upgrade them.
Sure. This is what we called an in-service upgrade, right? Investment protection is a promise we made in 2004 when we first launched the router, and we've designed this product keeping that in mind. So what do you need to do to make a CRS1 become a CRS3? The chassis is the same, the power, fan, all of that is the same. The line cards that you need at a higher speed, those are the ones you can choose which ones and just pull out the existing cards and add the new MSC cards, right? And similarly, the fabric that powers that speed, bottom line, is redundant. So which means you can do an in-service upgrade, pull it out and put the new fabric card, and your service is not disrupted. In fact, we have a demo where we actually show a video being streamed and a person, a FIFA game or something like that, and the person Pam, who's in our data center, who's actually physically removing the card and replacing it, and there is not a single packet dropped in that video.
Okay. announcement yesterday from Cisco was the unveiling of your new router. I guess people were looking for something more sexy when the press release went out saying that it's forever going to change the internet. Could you comment on that?
Absolutely. First of all, we think our routers are pretty sexy, but really, what we did announce yesterday was a leapfrog announcement and advancement to the company's flagship product. And when we talk about changing the internet, when you look at the way that the internet is going to be changing from our insatiable appetite for increased video, mobility experiences, it's imperative that we have an internet that can carry with intelligence, finesse, and with might the traffic that we're going to require as consumers. And while we would love to everyone to have a CRS-3 in their home, and I'm sure we can work out some great discounts for that, we understand that this is really positioned for the service provider market. However, it is fundamental to us receiving the experiences that we're going to expect in 2013, 2015, and 2025. So we've built this to last and built this to better prepare our service providers to deliver those experiences to the consumers.
As an end user, what is it that I would see from the unveiling of this router in terms of services, and what can I expect?
Absolutely. It's a great question. The experience will be indirect. However, the experience will be improved experiences for video. Also, in terms of having services on demand, as we see a growth in applications that we expect from both a consumer and a business perspective, the difference will be made in the scale and the ability for service providers to deliver those. So reduced jitter, increased quality of service, and an ability to receive more applications that we expect.
It's been tested by AT&T.
Yes.
And what kinds of results have they shared with you?
Well, they have done field trials in the U.S. and have experienced 100 gig capabilities, and by all accounts, have been very pleased with the capacity that they've seen.
When is this router going to hit the market?
In Q3 of this calendar year.
So September.
Yes, and it's currently being tested in trials. Yes. Well, September Q3.
After yesterday's announcement was that I think people were looking for a leadership role from Cisco when it comes to the last mile access. What is Cisco going to do about it?
It was really focused on the core. There was a lot of speculation out there in terms of what we were and weren't going to announce. And again, we fundamentally leapfrogged our flagship and core product. In terms of any speculation about last mile, we're committed to enabling our service providers and their capabilities. We're focused on the success of our service providers and our channel partners, and ensuring that they're able to deliver the services that they need to better address their consumers and market.
And is Cisco joining Google's efforts for high-speed?
We are really happy with Google increasing the bandwidth and increasing the network volume of traffic, and we applaud their success there.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.